Hello everyone. It's been a couple of weeks since I've made a video, so I thought I'd do a very quick update. Um, Under the Lily Banners is a project for next year, so hopefully Father Christmas will be bringing me some goodies for that. So as soon as they show up, I'll show you what I've got. The Greeks, as you can see, they're sort of sitting there on my rather messy end of the table. We're waiting to find a little bit more detail about Sword and Spear, or I think that's what it's called. If I'm wrong, forgive me. And know what sort of size units, etc., what we need. My friend is getting more updates on the Kickstarter, so hopefully we'll be able to find something soon. We've been playing a lot of World War II just lately, particularly Rapid Fire for some truly massive games, and Chain of Command, which we absolutely love. But why wouldn't you? It's a too fat lardy set, and you've got to love the lard. But what we're going to try and do is a bit more 15mm gaming. We tried Flames of War, really didn't like it. Far too much of a competitive set of rules. I know people love it. I know models from Battlefront are truly fantastic, but the rules just weren't for us. We tried Battle Group, which were really good. We quite enjoyed them. But I don't know, for some reason didn't sort of, I don't know, it's difficult to explain, but for some reason we didn't sort of play them as often as we might. I think it was because a lot of the games we played were kind of Chain of Command level, and we just prefer Chain of Command. So we were looking for something that was a bit more intermediate between Chain of Command, which is at platoon level with some supports, and Rapid Fire, which is at battalion level, and makes for some, like I said, some really big games. I've been really enjoying that. Done some recently where we've invaded Leros and another couple of Mediterranean islands, which have been an absolute blast. And we've done an early war one last weekend, which a friend came up with a scenario for. And there's one coming up over the Christmas period where we're going to be doing something set in the Battle of the Bulge, but that's in 20mm. So we looked for something that we could use our 15mm collections in, because they've just been sitting there gathering dust, the bits and bobs that I have and my friend's truly massive collection. So with that in mind, oops, sorry about the camera work there, I've got a wobbly. We came up with this, and they're Iron Cross World War II Wargaming in Miniature by Great Escape Games. Cost me 12 quid. And they are a super simple set of rules, but with some really intriguing mechanisms in them that we think might be interesting sort of game-wise. Whether they'll finish up giving us a feel of World War II that we want remains to be seen, because we haven't played them yet. The idea is this weekend we're going to give them a go. But do look very intriguing, and very simple to play. They kind of get the feeling that they're going to be one of those games that are simple to learn but hard to master. And also we tried a while back Team Yankee, because we like the idea of being able to play with modern toys. But again, it was too much similar to Flames of War, wall-to-wall tanks, and all that malarkey. It just seems a bit daft. So when I picked up Iron Cross from my friendly local game shop, I also picked up this, which is 7 Days to the River Rhine by Great Escape Games. And it's for modern war gaming, specifically Cold War gone hot, roughly about 1984. I think a lot of us will remember the fun and games that were going on back then, and wondering whether there'd be a nuclear war or anything like that. Fortunately, we were all okay in the end, but Yeah, so these look quite good. They follow on the same mechanic as Iron Cross, which is again very good in that it gives us a game that we don't necessarily need to relearn, in that the core mechanics are going to be the same with a few intricacies to give the feeling of mid-80s warfare. So with the Iron Cross in mind, I've dug out some of my old Flames of War bits, and here they are. So we've got 3 Panzer IVs and 5 Hanomags, SKDFZ, blah, 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 who knows. They're my first attempt. Well, the Panzer IVs were my first attempt with an airbrush. I think, if I'm brutally honest, my camouflage scheme was a bit dark. So I changed it to a lighter green. And I don't know whether you agree, but I think the Hanomags look much better. Very nice kits to put together. Very nice kits to paint. Simple paint jobs. I haven't really gone out to town. Like I said, they're basically sprayed with a rattle can, then airbrushed with green, then given a wash, I think, of Seraphim Sepia by Games Workshop. Then the tracks, wheels, internal bits, machine guns and all that malarkey picked out. They were all then given a wash with Agrax Earthshade, and then a little bit of drying on top of it with Iraqi sand. Now the idea is these are going to be for something that's always interested me in World War II, and I think is very, very undergamed from what I see, which is Sicily and the early campaigns in Italy, 1943-44. I've also got here some Volksschirmjäger, start of those, just sorting them out. So basically within the game, a stand represents a section. Doesn't matter about the type of weapons and stuff that they've got on. You just put whatever you fancy on, usually 4 or 5 figures. You could go lower. It's entirely up to you and what you might have in your collection. So those are a few bits I had lying around. Got a Pack 40, a mortar, and another few bits for another 3 sections or squads or whatever you want to call them. And hopefully that'll be the start towards my 500 points. Although they do recommend playing without points and using scenarios. But I think just to start off with, until we get the feel of what we're doing with them, playing with points is probably going to be a lot easier. Just have a quick sort of zoom in. I'm going to base these on MDF bases as well, so things don't get scratched. They need the bases obviously need finishing, and I need to put some transfers on everything. But I'm reasonably pleased how they came out, and yeah, so that's where I currently am at the moment. Try and get another update posted at the weekend, let you know how the battle went. Been a bit under the weather of late, that's why I've not really done a great deal. And there's also going to be a couple of bits and bobs painted up for the Greeks, but nothing special. Probably just a couple of command figures and an objective figure. But other than that, I hope you're all doing well. I'd like to say thank you to Von Ketteringham and Lee Hughes for the shout-outs. Very much appreciated, guys. Thank you very much. Really enjoying watching all of your channels, guys, all the guys that I subscribe to, and some fantastic work out there. Trying to stay away from Napoleonics, but it's getting harder and harder. Any road, I've wobbled on too long, so I'm going to knock it on the head. I hope you're all well and your gaming's going really good, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.